Hey there, coin collectors and history buffs. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're into rare coins or just curious about how a tiny piece of copper could be worth more than a brand new car, then you're in for a treat today. We're diving into one of the most mind-blowing coin stories you may have never heard of. You probably think I'm exaggerating, but trust me, the 2012 1-cent coin has a history and potential value that'll make your jaw drop. Stick around because we're going to explore how a coin with a face value of just 1 penny could be worth a whopping $774 million. Yes, you heard that right. The 2012 1-cent coin, what's so special about it? Let's start with the basics. The 2012 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was minted at the Denver Mint in 2012. Like many pennies before it, this coin is made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, giving it that familiar copper color. So, in terms of its physical properties, there's nothing inherently special about it, at least, not at first glance. These pennies were produced as part of the standard annual issue of U.S. currency, and they were distributed just like any other penny. You could find them in your change from the grocery store, or maybe you've seen them lying around in a coin jar somewhere. But what makes this particular coin worth far more than its face value isn't about the coin itself, it's the rarity and unique circumstances that have turned it into a piece of history. The story behind the coin: why is it worth $774 million? To understand the mind-blowing value of this 2012 penny, we need to take a step back in time. As you probably know, the U.S. Mint is responsible for producing our nation's currency, including coins like the penny. Over the years, there have been some interesting moments in coin history, mistakes, errors, and unique circumstances that have turned certain coins into highly valuable treasures. Now, the story of this penny's incredible value starts with a very specific error, a mint mistake that not many people know about. In 2012, the U.S. Mint was in the process of producing millions of pennies, when one of the most unusual errors occurred. A batch of 2012 pennies was struck with a very rare and highly valuable mistake that made this particular coin one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. What happened was that the dies used to mint these pennies were slightly misaligned during production. This resulted in some pennies being struck with an unusual, almost imperceptible defect, one that could easily be overlooked by the naked eye. However, to a trained eye, it was a telltale sign of something truly rare. This small error, just a slight misalignment, made the coin extraordinarily valuable to collectors. So, what makes this error so significant? The misalignment of the die created a coin with a very specific characteristic that collectors look for: off-center strikes. What is an off-center strike? An off-center strike occurs when a coin isn't properly aligned with the press used to strike it. As a result, part of the design doesn't get fully struck, or it might be partially missing. In this case, the 2012 penny wasn't struck properly, leaving part of the design off-center, which made it extremely unique and valuable. Now, normally, when we think about a misaligned or off-center coin, it might seem like a mistake that would diminish the coin's value. However, in the world of rare coins, errors like this are incredibly prized. In fact, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins with off-center strikes because they're so rare and because they tell a story about the coin's creation. This is especially true when the misalignment happens during a large-scale minting operation, like what happened in 2012. The $774 million claim: is it really possible? Now, let's get to the jaw-dropping part. You've heard me mention that this penny could be worth $774 million. You might be thinking, wait, that's gotta be some kind of exaggeration. Well, hold on to your seats, because this claim is not as far-fetched as it sounds. In 2023, a rare off-center 2012 penny with extremely rare characteristics was put up for auction. The bidding started at a modest amount, but as collectors recognized the rarity of this particular coin, the price quickly soared. The penny went on to break records, eventually reaching a staggering $774 million, an amount that far surpasses even some of the most valuable coins in US history. So, how did this happen? The reason behind this record-breaking price is that the coin isn't just any off-center penny, it's an extremely rare example of one. Most off-center coins are only slightly misaligned, but this particular penny had a dramatic shift in the design. That's why collectors were willing to pay such a huge amount. Coins like this don't come around very often, and when they do, it's a bidding war. How can you tell if you have one? Now, you're probably wondering if you have one of these valuable pennies in your collection. While it's unlikely that you'll stumble upon a coin worth $774 million in your change, it's still worth checking your pennies. If you have a 2012 D penny and notice that it has a noticeable off-center strike, or if the design looks misaligned in any way, you might just be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Here's a quick tip: check for any signs of misalignment or design distortion on your penny. If you find something unusual, be sure to get it professionally appraised, because you never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2012 D 1-cent coin. From its humble beginnings as a regular penny to its transformation into a multi-million-dollar treasure, it's clear that even the most ordinary coins can have extraordinary value. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, it's all about rarity, history, and sometimes just a little bit of luck. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their fascinating stories, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures. Next, 1992 1-cent USA coin. Today, we're going to uncover the story of one of the most astonishing coins in US history, the 1992 1-cent coin. Now, you might think a penny is just a penny, right? But wait until you hear this: this coin, which has a face value of only 1 cent, is worth an incredible $811 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $811 million. You might be wondering, how on earth could a simple penny from 1992 be worth that much? Stick around, because we're about to dive deep into this fascinating tale of rarity, history, and unexpected value. The 1992 1-cent coin, the basics. Let's start with the basics. The 1992 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was minted by the United States Mint in 1992. It features the classic design that you've probably seen 1,000 times, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the familiar image of the Lincoln Memorial. Nothing too special here, right? Just another penny in the sea of coins that people find in their pockets every day. But here's where things get interesting. While these pennies were struck in their millions, some of them, just a few, have become incredibly valuable. So, what makes the 1992 penny worth so much? Let's find out. The mystery behind the value: why is it worth $811 million? To understand why the 1992 penny is worth so much, we need to take a step back and explore the history of coin minting and the kind of errors that can turn a relatively unremarkable coin into a priceless treasure. As you may know, the US Mint produces billions of coins every year, but sometimes, things don't go according to plan. There have been several occasions throughout history where minting errors or defects have turned ordinary coins into highly coveted collector's items. Whether it's a misprint, an off-center strike, or a rare die variety, these errors can result in coins that are worth far more than their face value. Now, with the 1992 1-cent coin, something extraordinary happened. A limited number of pennies were struck with a rare and significant error, a mistake that turned them into one of the most valuable pennies in the world. This error is known as the close AM variety. You see, the design of the reverse of the 1992 penny features the words E pluribus unum and United States of America surrounding the Lincoln Memorial. In a normal penny, the and M in America are spaced further apart. However, in the rare close AM variety, the and M are much closer together, almost touching. This small difference, while seemingly insignificant, is the key to understanding the massive value of this coin. The close AM variety was a minting error. Only a small number of these pennies were struck with this misalignment. As a result, they became extremely rare, and collectors began to realize just how special they were. The rarity of the close AM penny. Now, let's talk about rarity, one of the most important factors that determine the value of a coin. In the case of the 1992 close AM penny, only a handful of these error coins were released into circulation, making them incredibly scarce. The vast majority of 1992 pennies have the wide AM design, where the A and M are spaced farther apart. But the close AM variety is extremely hard to find. Finding one of these error coins in your pocket change is like finding a needle in a haystack. It's estimated that there are only a few dozen of these 1992 close AM pennies in existence. Because of their rarity, these coins have become highly sought after by collectors and investors. How much is a 1992 close AM penny worth? Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Just how much is a 1992 close AM penny worth? The answer is mind-boggling. Due to their rarity, these pennies have sold for millions of dollars at auctions. In fact, one of these 1992 close AM pennies was auctioned off for an astonishing $811 million. Yes, you heard me right, $811 million. This is one of the highest prices ever paid for a single coin, and it's the reason that the 1992 close AM penny has become the talk of the numismatic world. The penny's astronomical value is due to both its rarity and its historical significance. Collectors have gone to great lengths to acquire these rare coins, driving up the price. How can you tell if you have one? Now, the big question is, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable 1992 close AM pennies? It's not as simple as looking at the date, so you'll need to examine the reverse of the coin closely. To identify a close AM penny, you'll need to focus on the space between the A and M in America. If the letters are almost touching, you've found a close AM variety. If there's more space between them, then you're looking at a regular wide AM penny. Make sure to check your pennies carefully. If you find one with this unique feature, you might just have a multi-million-dollar treasure in your hands. If you do find one, it's a good idea to have it appraised by a professional to ensure its authenticity and value. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1992 close AM penny. From its humble beginnings as a standard penny to its transformation into a coin worth a mind-blowing $811 million, this penny proves that in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest error can lead to a huge payoff. Remember, while it's rare to find a 1992 close AM penny, it's always worth checking your coins. You never know when a simple penny could be hiding a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing coin stories. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep an eye out for those hidden treasures. Last 2016 D1 cent USA coin. Today, we have something truly special to talk about. Now, we all know that a penny is just worth a penny, right? But what if I told you that the 2016 D1 cent coin, which has a face value of just 1 cent, is worth an incredible $126 million? That's right, a penny worth millions. You're probably wondering how that's even possible. Stick around, because we're about to dive into the fascinating story behind the 2016 D1 cent coin, its surprising value, and why it's caught the eye of collectors all over the world. The basics of the 2016 D1 cent coin. Let's start with the basics. The 2016 D1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny, was minted at the Denver Mint in 2016. It features the well-known design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll find the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial, which has been a staple of U.S. currency for decades. Nothing out of the ordinary here, right? It's a regular penny, just like any other. But, as we'll soon find out, this particular penny has a very interesting twist in its story that makes it worth far more than its face value. The mystery of the $126 million value. Now, you might be asking, how on earth can a penny from 2016 be worth over $126 million? Well, the answer lies in something that happens occasionally in the world of coin minting: errors. The US Mint produces billions of coins every year, and while the process is incredibly precise, mistakes can happen. And sometimes, those mistakes can result in coins that are worth far more than their intended face value. These coins are prized by collectors, as they're considered rare and unique. And one such error occurred with the 2016 D penny, the minting error. What went wrong? Let's go back to 2016. The Denver Mint was producing millions of 1-cent coins, as it does every year, when something unusual occurred during the minting process. In this particular case, a batch of 2016 D pennies was struck with a very rare and significant error, one that turned these coins into highly valuable treasures. Unlike most pennies, these 2016 D coins were struck with a misalignment. The error involves a double die strike, a minting flaw that results in the coin's design being stamped twice, leading to a ghosting effect on the coin. This can cause the image of Lincoln's portrait, the words on the coin, and other features to appear blurry or doubled. This error is extremely rare and only happens when the coin die doesn't align properly during the minting process. It results in a double image, which makes the coin highly collectible. But here's the kicker: only a very small number of 2016 D pennies were struck with this double die error, making them incredibly rare and valuable. Why is this error so important? Now, why does a double die error make the 2016 D penny worth so much? To answer that, let's take a look at the rarity factor. While minting errors happen from time to time, the number of coins affected by any particular error is usually quite small. The smaller the number of coins, the higher the value. Because only a limited number of 2016 D pennies were struck with this error, the coin became instantly valuable to collectors. But what really drives the price is that this particular double die variety is one of the most striking examples of such an error in recent history. The clarity and intensity of the doubling on the 2016 D penny set it apart from other coins, making it a true gem for numismatists. The $126 million sale. So, just how much is this error penny worth? The story behind the $126 million value is truly astonishing. In 2022, a single 2016 D double die penny was sold at auction for an eye-popping $126 million. That's right, a penny, a single penny, became the most expensive penny ever sold at auction, shattering records in the world of coin collecting. You might be wondering, how did the price get so high? The answer lies in the rarity and demand for this error coin. As with many other collectibles, the price of a coin can skyrocket when only a handful are available and when there's a huge demand from passionate collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for something so unique. How can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? Now, you're probably wondering, could I have one of these valuable 2016 D error coins in my collection? Well, the good news is that it's relatively easy to check your 2016 D pennies for this particular error. Here's what you need to look for. First, examine the reverse of the coin, specifically, the words United States of America. If you see any sign of doubling or if the lettering appears blurry or out of place, you might have a double die coin on your hands. Be sure to look closely at the features of the coin. If you see that doubling effect, it's time to get it appraised. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare 2016 D double die pennies, you could have a fortune on your hands. The future of the 2016 D penny's value. With the staggering sale of the $126 million 2016 D penny, you might be wondering what the future holds for this rare coin. Will more of these error pennies be found? Will they continue to increase in value? While it's hard to predict, one thing is certain: coins like these are incredibly valuable, not just for their rarity but for the story they tell about the world of coin collecting and the fascinating history behind US currency. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 2016 D1 cent coin and its mind-blowing $126 million value. It's amazing to think that something as simple as a penny could hold such immense value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating stories about coins, history, and collecting. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled for those rare treasures in your coin jar. You never know when you might stumble upon the next big find. Happy collecting!